You can spend all your money on some chick that's not even gonna reply to you a week later. I mean, let's be real. So you have to be gamed up. You gotta be in that top 1% where you understand. Because like I said, these women are great deceivers. You've been taught to be a beta, to bend over backwards for the woman, to be a simp. You have to undo all of that because you will get played like a fool. Like I said, a lot of these guys, they complain, oh, she took all my money, she did this, she did that. You let her do that. You set yourself up to get taken advantage of. So you have to be. What is good with y'all today? Bae CBO, aka Cole Brown Official. And today we are talking about how the modern dating is rigged. She wants that top 1% of men. And when I say that top 1%, it's not what you expect it to be. You might think of money or height, but that's far from the truth. You know, a lot of these top 1% income guys are losers. You know, they just trick on women. And really the average guy in America is a trick. And I promise you, women do not respect tricks. They might like to be around them, but they do not respect them. And most of the women I've dealt with, they all have an encounter with many tricks. Guys just throwing money at them. Oh, I'll pay for your gym membership. Oh, I'll come into the restaurant and tip $200 every time I come in. Like, they be tricking. They might not say it directly, but most of these women have dealt with tricks, you know? And that's the reality. But a lot of these guys have been programmed. We are programmed to be tricks. But you need to be top 1% in these two things. Your mindset. You have to be gamed up. You have to have an understanding of human nature and female nature because women are great deceivers. And this really isn't even modern. I think it's gotten worse because men are programmed more than ever. You're taught to bend over backwards. You're taught to be a gentleman, but she's not taught to be ladylike. But even if we go back to the Bible, Eve was a great deceiver. These women are gamed up. And I think even naturally, they have an advantage when it comes to socializing. They pick up on certain cues a lot quicker than men. And then on top of that, she's getting gamed up by her mother, by her aunt, by her dad. They would say, oh, do what's best for you. That's what they would tell her. But when it comes to the men, do what's best for the woman. You need to treat a woman like this, but they don't say, this is what you need to do for your man. So a lot of guys are getting taken advantage of. A lot of times the squeeze is not worth the juice. And number two, we talk about it all the time. It's extremely important. It's the body game. The body game is extremely important because even if you are gamed up, if she doesn't find you attractive, not much you can do. Now, a lot of guys will go to the extreme, talk about looks maxing, talking about, oh, you can do this surgery and that surgery and liposuction and all this extra shit. But I promise your options will become vast if you just got in shape, if you were healthy. Because women are attracted to a healthy man. When you really take care of yourself and you really love yourself, your body's going to show that. And she's going to be more attracted to you. And it's just hardwired in her to like healthy men, just like we like healthy women. Because it gives us a good feeling about them that they would make good offspring. So it's just in them. You know, but you really have to be gamed up, dog. You have to understand these women because you will get taken advantage of, I promise you. Because a lot of times these women, they are great liars. And sometimes they're not even lying. They'll lie to themselves. Or they'll say something in the moment, but as soon as the moment changes, it doesn't apply anymore. What do I mean? I can think of 3 different women right now where they would tell me like, oh, like I'm not looking to just hook up. I'm not just looking for casual sex. Like if I'm sleeping with somebody, it has to be leading to something. And then within a month, I've seen all 3 of them have casual sex. And it's just like, you're trying to deceive me. But they would say they want an honest man, a straightforward man, but they're not honest themselves, right? And that's why they do so much to deceive, whether it's makeup, whether it's the fake lashes, whether it's the fake nails. They are deceiving animals. They're the greatest deceivers on the planet Earth. So you have to be gamed up. You have to understand female nature because you would get taken advantage of. A lot of guys will complain, oh, she took all my money. She did this, she did that. You let her do that to you. You put yourself in that position. A lot of guys will complain that they didn't spend all this money on a woman. You came in the situation trying to spend money on her. On the first date, you were trying to throw money at her. Because you don't value yourself, you don't love yourself. And see, at a young age, I knew I did not want to be like that. You know, I looked around, the men around me, I said, no, I don't want to be like any of them. And that's no disrespect to any men around me. But I'm like, a lot of these guys are on some trick mentality. So at a young age, I was watching the PIMPs. I don't know what you can say on YouTube. I'm trying to get more friendly. You know, I'm trying to get a little cleaner on YouTube so I can start making a little bit more money. Because right now, I hardly make anything on YouTube because I cuss so much. So, yeah, man, I cuss way too much. So My videos aren't really ad friendly. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to clean it up. So I don't know what you can and can't say, but I used to watch a lot of P's talking. You know, so that's what I kind of, at a young age, I was just like, how does this guy have 4 women walking the blade? They bring all the money back to him. And at the same time, you having a guy bend over backwards for a woman that doesn't do anything for him. You know, so at a young age, I really wanted to understand the dynamic. Like, because a lot of guys will say, oh, we all pay. We all paying for coochie at the end of the day. A lot of these tricks, they'll say that. Oh, we all have to pay. Maybe you have to pay, but that's not the reality of that top 1%, and it depends on your mindset. And I don't have an issue paying for a woman on the first date and stuff like that. But I said I've encountered a lot of women that pay for me on the first date. I've encountered a lot of women that they just come straight to the crib. You don't have to pay for the box. You have to build yourself up. You become so valuable. She looks at you, she's around you, and she's like, nah, he brings too much value. I don't need to go on a date with him. I don't need this. I don't need that. Right? Just like Mac and Cheese Girl. I'll talk about Mac and Cheese Girl a lot because this is a prime example of I invested nothing. I didn't spend a penny on Mac and Cheese Girl, but she brought mac and cheese. She done baked for me multiple times, and she came over and got smashed. I didn't spend a penny on her. But a lot of guys never had that experience, so they don't think that's a reality. They think you got to go, oh, I got to spend $300 on a date. I got to go buy her flowers. I got to go do this. I got to go do that. But you feel like you have to do all that because you don't feel like you're truly valuable. When you really have faith in yourself, you don't feel like you're obligated to spend a whole bunch of money on a chick for her to like you. But when you feel like you down here and she's up here, you feel like you have to spend all this money just to build yourself up so you're on the same level as her. Because that's the reality you tell yourself, and that's what they teach you. To spend all this money on these goofy holidays like Valentine's Day. Like I said, who the hell is Valentine? Why is that a holiday? It's just another little holiday so you can get in your consumerism and spend all your money. You can spend all your money on some chick that's not even going to reply to you a week later. I mean, let's be real. So you have to be gamed up. You got to be in that top 1% where you understand. Because like I said, these women are great deceivers. You've been taught to be a beta, to bend over backwards for the woman, to be a simp. You have to undo all of that. Because you will get played like a fool. Like I said, a lot of these guys, they complain, oh, she took all my money, she did this, she did that. You let her do that. You set yourself up to get taken advantage of. So you have to be gamed up mentally. And then the body game. The body game is so important. Because I tell you guys all the time, you got to get between her ears and you got to get between them legs. See, even if you gamed up mentally, if you don't have the body game, yeah, you can get inside her mind. But she's going to be less likely to go on a date with you. She's going to be less likely to match with you on the dating app. She's going to be less likely to even give you the time of the day. But let's say you do have somehow get the conversation with her. She's like, wow, he got a great personality. When you still go to get in between the legs, you're not going to perform well. It's going to be hard for her to get turned on because you got that big gut slamming on her stomach. And then you got them titties swinging in her face. She's not going to be wet. Because she over here ducking and diving, you trying to smash the chick. She over here ducking and diving your titties because your titties got them throwing a right hook, uppercut. She over here ducking and diving. She feel like she in a boxing match with Butterbean. If you know who Butterbean is, shout out to you, man. But she feel like she in a boxing match with Butterbean. So she can't even get comfortable. She don't even get turned on by you. You got to spit on the coochie every 5 seconds to keep it going. You using half the bottle of lube. Because you look at yourself, you got to be real with yourself. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and say, is a woman attracted to this? So even if you are gamed up, you still have to have the physique to turn her to a freak. And when she looks at you, you got that Greek god physique, and in the conversation flowing, and you gamed up, you can understand when she's trying to deceive you and play you. Oh, she's going to be all the way into you. Because that's the thing, a lot of these women, they'll try to deceive you, but they don't want the man they can take advantage of. It's part of their mating strategy. She will test you because she's trying to see how solid you are. Because she wants the best mate for her. So she's going to test you to see how solid you are. Now, like I said, it gets to a point where she's shit testing you too much. Nah, she got to kick the curb. She got to go. She got to go. But she's going to test you to see how solid you truly are. She going to play these little mind games. That's part of the process. And if you don't understand, if you aren't gamed up, you're not going to understand that and you're going to fail all the tests. Like I said, when Mac and Cheese Girl Say, oh, I brought you mac and cheese. Now I brought you cookies. What are you doing for me? I said, conversations are great. I'm sure you learned a lot from me. And I'm piping you down. And that's what I left it at that. See, a lot of guys would have gotten in that situation. Well, I can do this for you. Oh, we could go out on a date. We can do this. We can do that. And there's nothing wrong with taking girls on dates. You know, I'm not saying like, oh, if she's not coming over to get smashed, like, nah, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying stop trying to invest into so much into a woman that you hardly know. And she's going to have more respect for you when you make her earn things. Because when you just throw money at these women, when you bend over for a woman, when you validate the woman way too much and you hardly know her, that just shows that you do that with every woman. That just shows any woman qualifies for you. So you're really low value. So even if you top 1% in income, even if you're top 1% in height, you don't really love yourself. You don't really respect yourself. And you deserve to get walked on like a doorman. Because that's the way you carry yourself. You set yourself up to get walked on. So, you know, all this stuff, looks maxing and all that stuff is cool. But I think a lot of guys go overboard with the looks maxing, and it's the two most important things. If you're gamed up, if you know how to get in her brain, you know how to put on that emotional roller coaster, not get boring, keep things entertaining, and you have that physique that's going to turn into a freak, you got it, bro. That's the two most important things. All the other stuff can be like a little cherry on top. But you don't need the cherry on top to make a good milkshake, you know? Half the time, to me, the cherry tastes nasty, so I don't even need that cherry. I don't need all the extra stuff. When you really have faith in yourself and you believe in yourself and you have good conversation, all you need is the body game on top of that. And you got it, bro. You got to be top 1% in those two things. And I promise you, everything else is going to fall in line. That's why, like, I'm not super concerned. Maybe I should be more concerned about trying to make money, especially on YouTube and stuff like that. That's why I'm trying to clean up my language because I cuss too much. I'm a little bit too vulgar. So ad revenue on the YouTube channel is like nothing, bro. It's nothing. You know, I'm hardly making anything because I just cuss too much. I'm not too concerned about making money though. Because I'm going to keep working on my mindset. I'm going to keep working on that body and everything else is going to come. Everything else is going to fall in line. And that's not to say you shouldn't be working towards other stuff, but I'm saying if you focus on those two things, everything else is going to be a lot easier. Like I said, exercising is an amplifier. When you wake up in the morning and you get after that workout, everything else is going to feel easier throughout the day. You're going to have more energy throughout the day. So get those two things down, strengthen that mindset, strengthen that body, and everything is going to be a lot easier. Y'all make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll catch y'all boys in the next one.